What's up, everybody? Well, today we're here to do another full house cleaning to test vacuum cleaning performance. And this time I thought I would go ahead and feature my Simplicity 7350 upright vacuum. One of the Taconi twin fan upright variants from the Clean Air vacuum lineup. Long before the Tandem Air would be developed, and this was quite a piece for Taconi back then. However, some people may forget, back then Taconi had two big companies. There was Simplicity, and then there was also Riccar. I have already done a cleaning performance on the Riccar variant, the 8955 to be exact. I will link the video to that in the description of this. But what ultimately makes them different is the Riccar has the rear wheels connected to the base of the vacuum, pretty much similar to a Panasonic of the time. So when you recline the vacuum, the wheels will slide underneath and the head will be floating on top of the carpet. But as you can clearly see on this, the wheels are actually fixed to the vacuum head. And they don't allow the head to float on the carpet like the Riccar does. There's an undercarriage axle that allows the head to raise up off the carpet, and when you recline it back, it'll drop the head onto the carpet. It still doesn't have carpet height adjustment though, but it's a little bit different of a setup compared to the Riccar variant. Although later, when the Simplicity line would later be discontinued, this system eventually went to Riccar. And as we look underneath, very similar to that of a Riccar. It's got the steel brush roll, aluminum brush roll body, I should say, with super stiff bristles. I would argue to say these are almost razor sharp stiff, which gives it super aggressive agitation. And coupled with the airflow from the twin fan suction motor, gives this thing amazing airflow. And I will say these Taconi vacuums for clean air uprights clean fantastic. My Riccar had this same setup with same brush roll setup and same motor, and it performed identical. So mostly this is just a difference to see how the Simplicity would perform with its wheels fixed to the vacuum head rather than the vacuum base. So this doesn't have a floating head design like the Riccar, so it may differ in cleaning performance, but we'll ultimately see how that plays out later on. So, typical fashion, I am running the Simplicity Riccar HEPA Type A bag. Unfortunately, I do not have a main post filter, or excuse me, pre-filter for it. The big filter that sits right here, I do have one right in here for now that I've trimmed to fit, but that shouldn't affect the airflow too much. At least it's got a HEPA bag in it, so I know I'm not going to be letting too much stuff into it. But we'll see how this all plays out when we get to the cleaning portion. And with that said, let's go ahead and get to it. And so, let's go ahead and get started. Let me see if I can get the head to drop fully on the carpet. Still going to take some getting used to with this because I'm used to the Riccar floating head design that they had similar to Panasonic. But here we go. decides to slip for a few seconds when you push start, but once it kicks in, it cleans good. Don't know why, because this is a brand new belt I installed. It's just a minor nuisance, if anything. See, now it's sounding just fine. I've already ruled out the clutch problems, so I'm thinking it's a belt problem. He gets completely flat compared to the Riccar. Some of the floating head designs, and Panasonic is also a victim to this, is that because of their design, they don't really lie totally flat. Sounds and runs very nice. Super quiet by Tacony standards. And grooming action is definitely very good. Agitation is actually very good too. Partly that's due to the fact of the almost razor stiff bristles on the brush roll. I would argue to say they're stiffer than almost some Hoovers that I have in my collection. So that's just to show you how good the cleaning performance of one of these really are. And so, with that said, let's go ahead and continue on. Just how powerful the motor exhaust is in this. I don't think it's gonna like the downstairs rug, but we'll see what happens. Handled it better than I thought it would. Although there were some rough spots, but still, did pretty good. And like that, full house cleaning is all complete. This thing is quite a pleasure to use. Definitely has that vibe of using a Panasonic because of how quiet it is, mostly. But let's see how this thing did in cleaning performance, and is it any better or worse than the Riccar counterparts. Gonna have to wrestle this bag off. There we go. Definitely quite a bit of pet hair mixed here and there. A little bit of fibrous material from the downstairs rug. Not as much as I thought it was gonna pick up though, because it didn't seem to grab hold of that carpet very well. And if anything, it was having issues with never-ending stalling brush rolls on it, which that's one thing I really don't understand about this. I bought a belt specific for this Simplicity model, and it seems that the belt is too long and it doesn't grab a hold of the belt unless it spins for a while and the belt gets a chance to heat up and contract somewhat. So I'm not too sure what that is. If any of you have this kind of issue with the belts on these Simplicities, please chime in. Or any of the later Riccars that have the wheels fixed to the cleaner head and not the base. I never had this problem with my Riccar 8955, at least not that I can remember. But with that said, I hope you've enjoyed this full house cleaning of the Simplicity 7350 twin fan upright vacuum. Be sure and stay tuned, and don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.